Have you ever wondered if you can actually be successful right now and sell jewelry during COVID times and keep your business going? Well, hopefully you've been listening to the shows over the past few weeks, and today is no exception because I'm going to be sharing with you some case studies, some wins, and some really amazing strategies that are going to blow you away because we're featuring designers in our community who are crushing it and basically life, recession-proofing, and COVID-proofing their businesses at the moment. Hey there, it's Tracy Matthews. I'm the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy. This is my birthday episode, and I'm excited to be here because I helped overwhelmed and struggling jewelrypreneurs become in-demand brands by using something that I call the desired brand effect. And we've been working intently with this model for the past 3 years with our designers in our Momentum Mastermind, formerly SOS coaching program, for several years to help them really up-level their businesses and create life and recession-proof businesses. And so I'm excited for today's episode today because I brought my co-founder of Flourish and Thrive on, Robin Kramer. She is the founder of Red Boot Consulting, and she focuses on wholesale brands. And Robin and I were talking earlier in the week, and she was telling me some of the cool things that retailers are doing to actually keep their businesses going when they're shut down. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that on today's episode. We're going to be featuring some designers in our community, in particular, one in depth, and then we're going to be talking about some wins, because what I want to tell you is that if you're thinking, or if you're struggling right now, I really want you to think again, because if you have the systems in place, you have basically the ideas and the strategies to help move you forward, and you actually go after this and you're emailing your people regularly, you are going to make sales right now. And there's a variety of ways to do it. And we don't know when things are going to open again. And a lot of the bigger communities, if you're somewhere like I live in New York City, we're not even sure if it's going to be open by beginning of June or even June 15th. If you're, maybe somewhere where it's less dense population, maybe things are open, but you might have noticed things have shifted. So I want to really empower you to be thinking outside of the box. And because it's my birthday, I always give away a free gift. I'm going to mention this at the end of this video as well, but you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/Tracy's birthday and grab our free gift. We'll also have a link in the comments and show notes. So check it out, because I'm going to be doing basically a case study feature of what's working now and profiling a few designers who are really crushing it in their business. And trust me, you are going to want to read these case studies because you can use the strategies that they are doing in their business to basically do the same thing yourself. And you are going to love it because these are designers who had really focused on wholesale and or in-person shows for the majority of their revenue. And they've pivoted all of it online and are actually exceeding their 2019 sales by going for it. So check it out. So let's dive into today's interview. Well, I am so excited because my co-founder, Robin Kramer, is on the show today. Robin, welcome.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you for a very specific reason, because we're kind of celebrating our birthdays together this year. Robin and I were born like 2 weeks apart, just about, maybe like 12 days apart or something like that. Just a few years off, but not too much. And we have our birthday, Flourish and Thrive's birthday, a couple weeks later. So it seems like it's birthday season for like 2 months around here. So we decided to do a joint episode, really, because when we come to this time, we're coming up on 8 years of co-founding Flourish and Thrive together. And one of the things that we love to see is to witness how far everyone's come, right?
Oh, it's the biggest joy. This is why we started this, is to help.
Yeah. And so when, my business failed in after 2008, the 2008 crash and the recession and everything, like I really didn't want anyone else to have to go through that. So the mission of starting Flourish and Thrive was to really help people life-proof their businesses, help them recession-proof their businesses, and build a business that actually supports what they want. And over the years, Robin and I have worked in many different capacities. We've developed a lot of programs together. We've done a lot of collaborations. And about 2 years ago, Robin ventured off and started her own. It was 3 years ago?
It was almost 3 years ago.
Oh my gosh, how does the time go, dude?
I know.
So about 3 years ago, she ventured off and started her Red Boot Wholesale Intensive because she really wanted to be able to work with people one-on-one in the wholesale landscape because she loves retail stores and all that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Robin?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a retail junkie. I love product. I love stores. I still am in touch with so many of the store owners that I worked with when I was at Dog-Eared. And I just love that whole relationship. And so, working one-on-one with people and really helping them with their wholesale business. And so many of the designers I'm working with now also, in addition to doing wholesale, have their own stores or getting ready to open in their own stores, which is a big trend. And it's been really exciting. And I see so much opportunity, especially now that things have changed. And it's become a kind of even more different landscape and how people are maneuvering through that. And I know this is one of the reasons we're so excited about how people are embracing it and moving forward.
Because I know that this was really unexpected. Like no one could predict a pandemic. However, about 2-3 years ago, I really wanted to move into a direction of helping people with their online businesses and selling more direct to consumer on their websites. And you really wanted to focus mostly on wholesale. And so we decided to kind of focus on our own program so that we could support people in the way that felt amazing to each of us, which has been so cool. In particular, because when I've seen, and we were chatting, this morning before we did this interview, what I've seen come up over the past few weeks, or past few months, I should actually say, of how people are adapting to this time and pulling out all the stops to save their businesses. And, I was talking with one of our students this morning, and I'm going to kind of do a case study on her, and Robin's going to talk a little bit about some of the people that she's been working with and make some notes. Some of them asked to remain anonymous, so we're going to have to honor that, but we're going to talk about some of the strategies that they're doing. And the thing that's super cool about this is I just opened up our Slack channel for our coaching program over here where we focus with people on online sales, which is about to change names to the Momentum Mastermind, which is exciting. And I got a text from one of our coaches, Anna Maria Anderkin, who I had on the show a couple weeks ago. And she's like, girl, have you checked the Wins channel this weekend? Because she knew I was sick this week. And I'm like, no. So I just opened it up and I almost started crying because we have a challenge here in our Momentum Mastermind, it's newly now called Momentum Mastermind, formerly SOS. We have a challenge in May every single year called 10K in May. And as we're recording this, it is the day before Mother's Day because we have to record the podcast a couple of days before. And a huge fraction of the people in the program are almost at their 10K challenge mark, which is for online sales. And some of them had they set bigger goals for themselves. So they might be doing 15 or 20,000. And some of them maybe set a little bit lower goal because they're not quite there yet, maybe 5,000, 6,000 online. But the cool thing that is going on is that these people are just pulling out all the stops and trying so many different things and finally implementing a lot of the things that they've been putting on the back burner over the years because they were so busy filling wholesale orders or so busy doing the in-person shows, which we know is exhausting for a lot of people. So Robin, what have you seen from some of your people? We're not going to dive totally into the weeds yet, but I'm curious what you've kind of overviewed seen.
Well, it's been interesting because of the relationship, the wholesale end of things too, where it's crazy for the fact that anyone is without a website right now. You have to have one. You just have to. There's whether you're a retail store or whether you're a designer, a vendor, you have to have a website. So it's really prompted a lot of people who were dragging their feet to have a website. Now, all of the designers I know have websites, but maybe they weren't up to par. And so that's where they're like, okay, need to dive in, need to change things. One that comes to mind is Viv Ingrid. They have a great new website that they've been working on, but they were not ready to launch it. And boy, did they get on it and launch it, and they pushed it off. And I think that's what it's putting that fire under, just moving forward with that. And what I love, it's, if you're moving into a house and you want to have the house ready, you have a party. And I kind of feel like this is that little impetus of, okay, holy crap, this has happened. What do I do? How do I move forward? Let's be innovative. And the ideas that are coming, that people are coming, a lot of DIY I'm seeing too, of designers putting together packages.
Yeah.
That is something for maybe the kids or adults, and doing a Zoom party once everybody gets their DIY, doing some really, really cool things.
So the thing that was so cool is that I really noticed in wholesale, we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but I'm going to dive into Karina's story in a minute. One of the things that I am really excited about with wholesale is that a lot of the designers, because we do have a lot of designers in our momentum marketing program who have a majority of their business wholesale, but they're really trying to strengthen the direct to consumer, because sometimes when there's too much of a balance one way or the other, if one revenue stream goes away, which is the only thing we can ever really control is our direct to consumer revenue stream, when one goes away, then it can put our business in jeopardy. And I know that's been a big aha moment now, because wholesale is canceled basically, or people are pushing out their orders. So we've seen some really cool things, like Morgan Lane Tanner showed us on our call the other day that she was doing, setting up basically special pages for her retailers, where if they wanted to, they could send traffic there if they didn't have their own website set up or a way to sell it. And Morgan would just drop ship the product for them. So because they weren't able to ship it to the store, obviously. And she's like, well, why don't we just set up like a virtual, boutique for you? And it's working really great for her. And so I'm curious to hear, what are some of the things that people are doing?
That you've seen? The outreach. Yeah, the outreach is really important. Stay connected. That's the biggest thing. Those people who are staying connected, whether it's a store staying connected to their customers, or a vendor, a jewelry designer staying connected to their stores and even their direct customers, that's what's making the biggest difference. And also making sure that more eyes are online than ever before, and making sure that they're trying new things. That's the other thing too, is don't be afraid to try new things. So I'm really proud of the designers who are like giving Instagram lives a try, or not being afraid to be kind of goofy and silly, and just testing it out. I have there's a store that I work with that's immediately got online, and they were doing meet the maker videos. And that's another thing too, is that designers really giving a list to wholesale accounts saying, here are things I can do. And it's more important to sales are what the goal is, but it's more important to stay connected. And also the more times you can get in front of the customer, and you don't always have to be talking about sales, the more times people are going to be like, oh, they're really fun. And it's an interesting way to connect at a deeper level with your customer.
Yeah, exactly. So Robin, you know Karina, because we've worked with Karina for
years.
A long time. Yeah, for years.
Yeah. So
she came to us in the beginning, and I talk about her a lot because she really she texts me all the time and tells me what's going on, or she messages me and tells me what's going on. So I'm always talking about her because I'm always amazed by what she has done with her business and her career. Because when she first started, she came into one of our coaching programs, or a mastermind program, as doing this part-time. It wasn't like her full-time gig. She had a full-time job, and she wanted to launch a jewelry company, and then got laid off. That's the short version of the story, but I'm just going to, for lack of time, or for time's sake, I'm going to just use that. And her first month out of working for herself full time, she made $25,000 by pulling out all the stops. So, and that was a really big month for her. It was awesome and really remarkable. And it was like proof of concept for her that this is possible. So I was chatting with Karina this morning because she texted me and told me that her May sales, and we're recording this episode on May 9th. So it's like 9 days into the month, the day before Mother's Day. People are still doing like amazing things to get local deliveries out and stuff like that. She was like, I can't believe it, but I'm already surpassed my April numbers. And her April numbers were the best that she's ever done online outside of holiday. And she had a 430% increase over the April numbers. And March was also killer. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? Because, so we were talking today, and she said, entrepreneurship for me and being a business owner is really a spiritual journey. And, since the live event that we had for the coaching program, our Momentum Mastermind coaching program, also known as SOS, just in case you've heard me talk about it before. We've had a live event. We do them twice a year, and they're typically in person, but it was canceled this year. Our April event was canceled because of COVID for obvious reasons. And we're going to do a virtual event again in September for the program. And one of the things that our whole focus on that was to get your head in the right place and to focus on what you can control, because there's a lot that we can't control right now. And all we can do is move into action and try and test things and be of amazing service to people. So I think one of the things that she mentioned that she was kind of struggling with initially is she has a really successful business, but I'm like this too. And, I coach against it, but sometimes I think it's really easy to compare ourselves to other people or almost in a way get like triggered by something. If someone is doing something, we're like, oh, I want to be doing that or whatever. And she said there was a lot coming up for her over this time. And she just started dealing with those emotions. And I know that one of the most important things that we've done in this coaching program is to work on mindset with our designers, because more than anything, like we're our own worst enemy at times, because we, have self-doubt, or, as creatives, sometimes we don't feel like we're good enough. And we start diving into these stories that come from childhood or wherever they come from along our lives. And even though we're not conscious of it, we start to self-sabotage ourselves. And so my goal is to really get them to be in the right place so that they're focused on what they can do and not getting stuck in these like stories that aren't really serving them. And so it was fun to talk to Karina this morning, because I was like, girl, what are you doing? And I'm going to actually interview her in a couple weeks, but it's like, I want to know what you're doing. And she's like, well, I got a lot of these ideas from the event and I just started trying them. And so basically, before this, her business was really built. It was a hybrid of online sales and in-person events. She was really good. She lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. She's been really good about networking in that area and has met a lot of people. And so she would do like a Mother's Day pop-up. She would do in-person shows. She had, shopping events at Google, like all these things that were really setting her up for success, but they're all canceled. So what do you do now? And so she started doing things that made her feel very uncomfortable. She is, and you know this, she likes to be more behind the scenes a little bit. And even though she might show up in some of the pictures on her Instagram feed and stuff, she's not one to really like show up and do video or anything like that. She really focuses on the product, not herself. And so she gave herself a challenge to start showing up on IG stories on a video, face to camera, every other day to talk a little bit about what she's doing for her customers. And the customer response was amazing. Like she just saw her sales starting to go up right away. And so she started doing that, and it was super helpful. And on those videos, she was giving some styling advice. So that styling advice started leading to these virtual shopping sessions, because she used to sell these virtual shopping sessions basically as a service. Like if someone had a birthday coming up, she would sell it to the husband if the husband didn't know what to get or something like that. And whenever she would do them, they would be great, but she wasn't selling a ton of them. And she knew that if she was able to book more, that she could make really good money, because the average order value is typically like $1,000 per session. And she doesn't do tie-in jewelry. You know this, Robin, right? Yeah.
And the other thing too, that I know, she was coming out with her new collection, and she was really concerned about sending out emails about that. And, what we've talked about is that people want to see beautiful jewelry. They want to see something that's happy and pretty. And so, and it worked. So she planned out how she was going to do it. I think she held back 1 week because of just trying to adjust when everything shut down, especially in the Bay Area. And she had the most successful launch she has ever had for a new collection.
Which is so exciting. And I know that we did a special community call earlier, I think like maybe in March or something like that. Or was it March or April? I can't remember. But one of the pieces of advice of you was like, share a little sunshine that you gave. You're just like, share a little sunshine. She went ahead and launched it. She was doing these styling sessions that she was starting to book out, selling $1,000 per session, which is awesome. And because she was getting out in front of this, what ended up happening is that, the videos, she would do the styling advice and then started creating a more personal interaction with her customers. And so that had this different effect. So when people were actually emailing her for customer service questions or where's my order and stuff like that, they were reaching out in a much different way. It was like, they're like, we know each other now, like we're friends. And so there was like this level of like patience and excitement happening on both ends. And I know that she was getting, because part of the thing that happened is Karina has a staff who actually makes her jewelry. She has like maybe 2 or 3 people making the jewelry. I'm not 100% sure on that number, but since everyone's working from home and she can't get the materials to them, she's been having to make all the jewelry for the orders, which has been a lot. So she ended up hiring her roommate to help her with the like shipping and doing this next strategy, which I'm going to share. This is something that our coach Anna Maria shared that she was doing for her customers. And it's basically a strategy. You take your top 100 customers who have bought from you over and over again, and you send them a gift in the mail with a handwritten card saying like, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. Here's a little gift to show you a little bit of my gratitude for being such a loyal customer over the years. And it was basically a gift card for whatever amount. It might've been either a percentage off or like maybe $100 for them to shop for an order over X amount or something like that, or $50 or something. People went crazy. So she had 29 of those 100 people use that card, and it's only been out there about a week. And so she's going to be emailing all those people saying like, hey, just want to remind you that if you're interested in doing that, it's expiring in a week. So she got a lot of messages from her customers saying that they cried when they opened it and they felt so grateful. So when she's shipping the order, she's also putting a second card in, and this is like Anna Maria's strategy, saying, thank you. You can use this 20% off for the next 15 days if you place an order. So a lot of times what happens is that people are double dipping. And that allowed her, in addition to the personalized shopping events, this top 100 strategy, and emailing her customers every other day, and the live video strategy, and getting a little bit more personal. Her sales were up in April over 430% over the previous year. And the coolest thing about this is that only a third of her sales, and April usually is a bad month for her, and she had an incredible month. It was, I think, a 5-figure month, almost multiple 5-figure month. And one of the things that's really incredible for her is that she made most of her money in April from this one show that she would do. She'd usually make, it was a really great show. It got canceled for obvious reasons. And she ended the month within $1,000 of the previous year, which is incredible for someone who misses like one of their key shows of the year. It's like that stuff's canceled. Like, what are you going to do? So she's like, there's no way I'm going to like actually beat this again in May. And the first 8 days in May, she already passed for her Mother's Day event. She already surpassed her April sales. She's already passed that number, which is so crazy.
It's so awesome.
I know. And so she's planning on doing a couple of other things this month. She's launching another collection. She's also going to have a Memorial Weekend Day sale. And she's already recouped the expenses of this 14-day Mother's Day pop-up that she usually has. And so she would spend basically 14 straight days and do 5 other shows in the month of May. And she's already replaced the income. And the next thing that she did is like, typically she has this shopping event with Google. And this is one of the things that I think sometimes people miss, because partnering with a company that has affluent people shopping there, who have wives to buy gifts for, who are men who procrastinate. I used to do this. I used to go into Goldman Sachs and all these places, is actually like a really great way to make money. And I think some people sometimes snub their nose on it because they think it's beneath them. But Karina has a really successful business. And even when I had a 7-figure company, I was still doing this because when you build those strong relationships with people, they remember you next time, and then they start to buy from you over and over again. So she ended up connecting with the person at Google, and the awesome thing that that happened was she's like, I know the trunk show we usually do is canceled, but what do you think about doing a virtual trunk show? And she's like, okay, well, send me the pitch and I'll run it by the people. And so she sent them this pitch. The woman who runs the events for Google ran it by like the top tier people, and they're like, yeah, we want to do it. We're going to bring like X amount of designers, and I can't remember how many people were going to do it. They invited 50 local artists. Let me see. Yeah. 50 local artists, and everyone, and instead of just doing it to the local Google area, they broadcast it company-wide. And
oh, that's awesome.
Her discount code was used 57 times for the 20% off to Google. And then I want to share one other thing. This is for her Mother's Day week, because every day, I think the reason why she did so well the first 10 days or 9 days of May, because she's still, as recording this, as I mentioned, she told me that it's like back-to-back curbside pickup appointments from all the men who like waited till the last minute. She's like, no, I can't ship it to you, but you can come and I'll run it out and stick it on the curb and you can come pick it up or whatever. And her roommate's at home packing up all the orders and writing all the notes, which is super awesome. But she started doing like a new offer every day, leading up like 10 days up to Mother's Day. So it was like on the shipping cutoff day, she gave 50% off. She was giving like a gift with purchase, or buy this as a bundle package or something like that. So, and then the last day she gave no gift and just offered the free gift wrap. And she had an amazing day before, like whenever the last day to do it was, without a discount or anything, or even like an offer. It was even better than some of the other days. So I think one of the things that really has blown her mind more than anything is that people are like buying more when it's not like, when there's not the special offer, which is super cool. I just loved this because, first of all, in April, as I mentioned earlier, her sales were up 430% online over the previous year. And this year, her sales are already up 106% over 2019 for total May. So she's already passed what she did last year in the first 10 days. And that would be last year. This included her sitting in a pop-up for like 9 or 10 days where she's just sitting there all day, every day. Instead, she's just like basically transferred all of that to working online and having a much more leveraged business model. Because I know a lot of people, one of the reasons why they come to someone like me or Robin is that they're tired of doing all these in-person events because they're exhausting, and you don't really know what you're going to get. Like one year it might be great, the next year it might suck. And
the weather may be bad if it's outside.
And you just don't know. So it's really hard. And so I think the exciting thing about this is like when you can pivot and do something differently and keep going for it, amazing things happen. So that was a lot, but I'm just so proud of her because she like really pulled out all the stops and like all the things that we taught her to do. She's like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to release judgment about what I think about this, and I'm going to try it and I'm going to see what happens. And because she released the attachment to the outcome, and because she kept moving forward, like her business is like, she's like, I might even like, if it keeps going like this, I might even like significantly beat my sales for last year.
That's awesome.
The chances of us diving into like some sort of recession or downturn right now are really high. So it's amazing to see people saving their businesses. And one thing that I told Karina, and I remember this from 2008, and I don't know if you remember this too, is there are a lot of designers who started their business in 2008 and or like maybe slightly before that, maybe like 2006 or 7. And those people who weren't like fully leveraged or fully invested in just one business model, or were just starting out, didn't really they had huge growth years in 2008. I think the people who really struggled were people like me who were like expanding. And then all of a sudden, like their revenue stream got cut off like at the knees. And so That's what basically happened to me, because all my eggs were kind of in one basket. 95% of my eggs were in one basket and only 5% were in the direct to consumer basket. So it is really important. And I think that all of us have the potential to do really well this year if we're really strategic about how we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about wholesale, because you said you've seen most of the people that you spoke to said they want to stay anonymous. So we'll respect that. But let's talk about what's happening.
I have one designer who also has a store. It's been really interesting because I have been working with a lot of designers that both have do a wholesale business and then have a retail store. And this particular designer said year to date, they have doubled where they were this time last year. And she, when all
you have here, it feels like Christmas on crack.
Yeah, feels like Christmas on crack is what she told me. She said, that's retail and website sales only. And she also, with the store, like she did a really good job of still keeping the store going when they could. And they were doing a lot of, like today, crazy. I was in touch with her this morning and she is so busy at the store, just getting packages ready to be curbside pickup. And I think what I always love about this is that look at your numbers, because numbers don't lie and they may surprise you. And that's the thing. Sometimes we don't realize how well things are going until we do look at numbers. And then another designer who was actually supposed to open her store in April, and everything was done. Yeah. And unfortunately that stopped, but she said her goals, she exceeded her goals for March, which was amazing. And she was up 177% for 2019. And her April goal, she was just shy, just a little bit, but was up from the last year, 130%. And she's already at 50% for her May goal, because she's just been on this wonderful trajectory and really working it. And they both have embraced the social media, but they've also been thinking outside the box of what's a good collaboration. So one of the designers has had a local blogger and a local stylist come on and talk about the line and what they love about the new, and the one who has seen great success, who was supposed to open her store but wasn't able to. One of the things, she also launched a new line and a new collection, I should say. Yeah. And the collection has been amazing. There's been a lot of talk about it. They've also, one of the things that she's doing is collaboration. She found a nonprofit that she wanted to work with, and that expanded her network that way. So really looking at ways to also give back to everything that's happening. And on top of it, this particular designer hired her first employee ever right before everything got shut down. Oh so my gosh. She was freaking out a little bit, but it's been wonderful because she's had somebody to say, hey, let's do this or try this. Oh, let's change that. So together they've really been trying all sorts of different things. And so it's been a really amazing experience all the way around. So I'm seeing lots of innovation. I'm seeing lots of, there's a designer that has guess what's in my red box today. Mm-hmm. Daria Kuning, who does this great thing where she's like, okay, it's Red Box Day. And she then proceeds to show all of these great pieces that she's very high-end jewelry, but everybody wants to see what's in the red box. Yeah. So creating that type of excitement and really looking at those, doing some special things online has been so cool to see.
I know, because this is one of the things that, it's like, if you want to have an anti-fragile business, one of our designers, I'm looking at our Slack channel for our insiders, inside circle for this, our SOS/momentum mastermind program. Trying to get used to saying the new name, which is we haven't even fully revealed it yet, but it's, we're going to be announcing it next week. So the cool thing about this is that, one of our designers was on maternity leave. And so they were building systems so that she could actually take maternity leave. And she's like, yep, pretty awesome. She has a really low end line. It's like the jewelry's really inexpensive, like $10 to $20 retail, $3,000 this week in sales because of systems that were set up and automation, which is pretty amazing. And so this is where you start to build a business that doesn't require you to do all the things anymore. And I think one of my goals, even starting Flourish and Thrive and working with you, Robin, and supporting this community has been to help designers actually create anti-fragile businesses, to have the confidence to move forward and do things, and to keep innovating and trying new things and seeing what works for them. And it's just been super duper exciting. I love it. I love seeing all these amazing results.
It's been really exciting to see people not just pivot, but prosper. And that's one thing I've been talking a lot about with stores and designers. How do you prosper in this type of environment? And let me tell you, there are a lot of people out of work, but there are a lot of people who are still working, and there are new jobs being created because of the innovation that's happening. And I always say, when you are working and your business is thriving, that means that somebody else, the people you're getting your findings from, or the other businesses that support you are, you're supporting them. And it's this beautiful thing. I also think it's really important for you to let people know that you're a small business. Talk about your business, take surveys, get to know your customer better. And it's a really exciting time to see where you can come up with new ways of doing things.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, it's blown my mind because like the number one thing, you mentioned this just a minute ago, like the service piece, is the people who are like stepping out from behind the computer, showing up, like, putting their face out there, talking to their customers directly, getting on the phone. I'm looking at this, and I didn't get permission to share anyone's name for these ones, so I'm not going to do that. But one of our designers said she had a live show on Tuesday. She's making $850 in residual sales coming in after the show. Not that's in addition to what she did at the show. So this gives her the confidence to do another one. Another designer made $1,500 this week from her online show, her website, and her fundraiser. And she's like, the best part, no booth fees, pretty awesome. I talked about our friend on maternity leave. Another designer is almost at 4,000 of her 10,000 goal for the month, which felt really, really good because she's pulling out all these stops for her online. One of our designers launched a special bracelet for her collection, and it's a low-end product. So she launched it in one day, has already sold almost $700 just in the first day. Huge deal for her. She has a full-time job. So it's not like this is definitely something she's doing on the side. Another designer, she's at 75% of her $15,000 goal for the month. Her online sales are up 695%. Yes, that's correct, from this month over last year. And she has a really strong wholesale component. So she's really working hard to replace her wholesale income. Another designer said, I just had her first phone sale. Instead of emailing back and forth with a woman, she just texted her and said, like, let's jump on the phone, close the deal. And she bought 3 instead of 1 piece of jewelry. And it was a custom piece. So it's like a higher end, which is amazing. Another designer, 5 online sales yesterday and 3 phone orders today. Oh my gosh. Another designer, I'm at 4,500 for May already. And mind you guys, this is literally like day 8 in May. These were all posted. Another designer, May sales are already 2 times April sales. I'm getting daily sales on my websites. And I'm at about 4,000 for the month. And I'm just so excited. And another designer, I'm at $3,935 for May. My trunk show ended. That was about another 2,000, and I have a bunch of follow-up orders that are directly related to the trunk show. I'm trying to think of ways to keep the momentum going. And these are all designers who came to us with, all at different levels. And, like, I know that for some people, like making 5 to 10 to 20,000, like if you have a product that's not super high end a month, makes a significant difference if you're booking that online and direct to consumer, because of the margins are so much higher than just doing wholesale. So when you can batch that with a really strong wholesale business or partnering with your wholesalers to do innovative things, either with, like we were talking about, the curbside pickup, or doing collaborations with the designers in the stores, doing collaborations together to send traffic so the designer can drop ship the order that wasn't actually shipped to people ordering, or a variety of other things, can really create this anti-fragileness to your business, which is amazing.
You know, it's so fun too, because I've seen a lot of designers get super creative. And so they're designing some new pieces. And one of the designers that's in my program, it's so great. She made this really cute pendant and she put it on social media, and one of her wholesale accounts saw it and said, "We want it. We're placing an order." And she was so concerned that her wholesale accounts weren't ordering, but there are definitely stores out there who are also taking the initiative and really reaching out and getting in front of their customers and making it happen. So she had this unexpected great sale from something she hadn't even shown them. They saw it online when she posted it.
That is so cool. I love it. So Robin, you know, we wanted to do this because it's our birthday episode and we love celebrating our students and the people that we mentor. So I want to ask, my birthday is this week. It's in 2 days as this episode airs. So I think this is going to go live on May 19th. And my birthday is May 21st. So I want to know, and your birthday is June 2nd. So what are you going to do for your birthday?
June 1st.
Oh my gosh, you're going to rock every single day.
I know. It's so funny. I should just change it. I'm changing it.
It's like, in my mind, it is still June 2nd. I can't change it. I keep trying to, and I keep.
That is okay. Yeah. I think I will change it. It makes me a day younger for another day, right?
I'm sorry, girl. I do this every year. I'm like, but I know on when it's your birthday, because a reminder comes up on my phone, and I'm. Why do I do that? Okay, June 1st. Sorry. Correct.
That's all right.
What are you doing for your birthday?
We're hunkering down at home. I'll still probably, if, you know, depending on how things are going, maybe do a family distancing dinner or something like that.
Oh
Who knows? Who knows?
Are you getting any hugs? Are you and Megan hugging at least?
We're doing, you know, we've discovered for my mom, you can put a sheet over, I can put a sheet over myself and give my mom a hug. So, I mean, we're a very huggy family. The whole body. It's like a ghost. You just become a ghost and hug somebody. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm such a hugger, and it's so weird to be like, hey, or, you know, we'll walk down the street and crossing the street so you don't walk by anybody. It's just a whole different thing. So just to hopefully have some fun. And where are you going to be?
I'm going to be in Arizona. I'm not planning on leaving here. I'm trying to depends on when New York opens, but I'm trying to try to get back there in June at some point to go check on my stuff. I just left like in a frenzy, like in a 24-hour period. So I guess I'm going to be here. I'll probably bake myself a cake. I'm not sure that Jason's much of a baker. I mean, he's doing a lot for me. Let's face it. He colored my hair. He doesn't want me to.
Love it. Love it.
Good. He just did it today. It looks pretty good. We'll pretend like we'll cut that part out. I'm just you know what his baking skills are like, but maybe I think we'll have his kids and just like maybe have a dance party, maybe do some TikTok videos or something.
Ooh, yeah. Dance party is always good.
Maybe some karaoke. His daughters are good singers, so we'll see if we can.
That's right up your alley.
Karaoke birthday. That's what I want to do. Karaoke birthday inside the echoey house. We'll sound really good because there's a lot of reverb with the echo.
Well, I can't wait to see video of it.
We'll have to do that. Robin, so I'm going to do a little intro and outro because we have a birthday gift that we give away every single year. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the intro and outro. Where can everyone find you if they're interested in learning more about your wholesale intensive?
Yeah, you can find me at redbootconsulting.com. And if you have any questions, you'll see that we have a whole page dedicated to the intensive. I also do a wholesale boot camp that is in person. So hopefully that'll happen again.
I think you need to take that online, girl.
We may have to do it virtually. I'm such an in-person person. I love meeting everybody, but I'm all for making sure we get the information out there.
I'm going to convince you to actually do it online because I think you have a lot more takers.
I have been getting a lot of requests for it. So, hey, what the people want, I will make sure it happens.
Maybe you'll pull it together before this episode goes live, and we'll link it in the show. We'll have your website anyway, but
yeah. And if you have any wholesale questions, I know there are still stores. There are stores. I was just talking to a store in San Diego that had to furlough 50 employees, but they had to bring 12 of them back because they're so busy. And, they're learning how to they want to bring everybody back, but, going through this. But another store in Pasadena who's just killing it. They're doing a great job. They're online. They're making things happen. So, I think wholesale is still viable. It's just helping your accounts too. But ask me if you have questions. Don't hesitate. You can contact me at robin@redbootconsulting.com. I'm happy to answer any questions about wholesale in this interesting time.
Well, what the cool thing is too, it's like we had a program that we retired last year called Mastering Wholesale, and we're probably going to revive it somehow through Red Boot. But that's why I think you should bring your wholesale boot camp online. But the cool thing about when we launched that program, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, we were talking about the new economy of wholesale and how it had shifted so much from when we were doing wholesale. And now it's like the new economy of wholesale. So it's like,
totally.
Keep going.
The new.
The new.
The new. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. I love you, girl.
Oh, love you too. I'm so happy to be here, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Ciao, ciao. Thank you so much for watching the show today. Make sure that you grab my birthday gift. You're going to really love it. I'm going to be profiling some really amazing designers who are crushing it right now. And I think you'll be inspired by them about ways that you can grow your business during COVID times. So head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/Tracy's birthday to grab my free birthday gift today. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below what your favorite takeaway was. Thanks so much.